Well, truck finally came in. Ordered this at least 6 months ago. Comparing to the prior generation Canyon, we were just going over some of the differences. As you can see, the headlights front end clearly. It's a whole new generation. Decided to go from the SLT to the AT4 on this truck. A little more ground clearance. Looks a little tougher. I think it looks, GM did a good job on it. We were just saying how much we like the plastic molds around the fenders versus the stock. Just gives you more stone, rock chip, all-weather protection. Both 6-bolt rims. Just comparing. It's like the brake calipers and everything look identical. I'm not seeing much difference. Actually, there is a little different rotor difference. I think they call this like more of an in-hat design. So it looks like GM did make an upgrade on the brake rotors. So what we noticed on the 2023 GMC Canyon front suspension, we noticed some differences. The connection points from the lower control arm to the frame, the lower frame horn, is different. The lower strut mounts are different in the lower control arm. We also noticed the sway bar position moved from the front of the spindle to the rear of the spindle, and as well you can notice some of the ABS sensors are rerouted on the upper control arm. Now we'll compare this to the 2017. Still running the felt wheel well liners. You can feel this is a little bit harder material. This is a little more fabric-y feel on the prior gen. We also noticed, if you look at the rocker panel, there's a little bit more stone guard protection. We notice when you run down the side, it goes up the rear corner of the bedside. Whereas you look in the prior gen, we put this on after the fact for rock protection, but it actually stopped right there. So that's a really nice improvement. Still got the stone chip protection on the leading edges of the new one, as well as this one. You also notice rear brake design also changed. Look at the caliper position. Look at to this, it's clocked up about another 25 degrees. Rear rotor design looks different as well. Both felt wheel well liners. Daytime driving lights look pretty sharp. So they move. See headlights, still projector. Fog lights moved from up in the bumper there down to here. Looks sharp, I think. Body lines look good. Mirrors look nice. Roof line's a little taller. You can tell I looked in the rear, some of the similarities. Looks like the exact same rear window and rear LED. Shark fin, same. Here's what's pretty slick though. The tailgate functionality on this is pretty neat. Definitely some nice upgrades. So watch this. Let's see, unlock. It's got a sealed area. I guess you could put like beverages, food. It's even got a drain built into it. Looks like there's some spots to connect some stuff. That's pretty slick. Relock it here. Here's another thing that's nice, Dave. We pull that tailgate up just a little. Look at this. This is really cool. I like this. So let that down a little. You could put the tailgate at like a partial opening. So maybe if you got a dirt bike or something to rest the tailgate against, that's a great idea. Let's see. And you can still shut it too. Nice. Rear bumper design completely different. Tailgate stamped differently. Even redesigned the rear bed step. A little more traction maybe. Looks like it's got eight loops for connection points in the rear. Now you got a 400 watt 20 volt connection. I don't see LED lights in the bed. I do notice that. Maybe that's not an option on this truck. Here's where I'm curious to compare payload. 1,460 pounds. That's pretty big for a little mid-size. That's like half-ton territory. Full-size matching spare. Hard to tell much. Undercoating all looks good. I don't see any kind of special markings on the shocks or anything like that. Let's go to the other prior gen. How's the hitch? Oh, looks pretty similar. Full-size spare in a prior gen. You can see undercoating looks good in that one still too, and this truck's 6 years old. So let's see how it compares with. Yeah, looks good. Kind of surprised there's no fuel tank skid plate for being an AT4. Kind of a little bit surprised by that. We do have a skid plate under, I see, the transfer case, the bottom of the engine. Let's see, what does he have on his? Nope, not on that one either. And you can see there's a difference. No skid plate on the transfer case or in the front of the engine. And you have that on the new one. Looks like 3 main springs and an overload. Exact same prior gen. On the rear suspension. Pop the hood, take a look at the engine here. 4-cylinder turbo, Dave. See turbo sitting right over here.
Yeah, right at the back. Fairly quiet.
Really quiet.
I mean, in mine, even in the 1500, it's got good pickup. I think, especially for what it is. I imagine it probably cruises pretty good with these lighter trucks.
Still got the hood.
Yeah, they was on constraint for a minute.
Really? Yeah. I know a lot of vehicles they've went away from. I'm a little surprised it still uses the hood. It doesn't have the supports built into it. Also, is there something missing right there? Huh. Just open like that. All right, gonna compare. Pop the hood. Well, that's weird. It used to have a hood strap or a hood strut, and they went away from it on the new Canyon to just the standard hood prop. Interesting. Another thing we noticed, so this had the V6, the 3.6 liter high feature V6. Great reputation on this motor. It's been around for a long time. Just noticing some differences, kind of interesting. Like if you notice this area of the fenders is finished off. Look at both sides, okay? Now let's compare here. It's like open, everything's exposed. It's almost like something's missing. It's interesting. So here's my takeaways. I really like the exterior of the new gen versus the old gen. I think it looks, in every way, I think it looks better. I don't see a downside. Especially the AT4, it looks sharp. Got the red tow hooks and the front bumpers. Lighting's a little more premium. I really like this for off-road, dirt roads, just a protection. It's gonna hold the truck up a little better. Exterior looks better. All the function around the tailgate, better. I like the 400 watt charger in the bed. The interior I like better, the infotainment. I like the powertrain more. The only, I'd say, cons is I'm a little disappointed that they went away from the hood struts and went to an old school hood prop, and I'm surprised at a little bit of the finish over the inside of the fender wells. I'm kind of surprised it's that open. Not sure if there's a constraint due to supply chain, but I think it's a huge step up. It's a nice truck, keyless entry at them. It's really nice. I think people are gonna really like this new truck. Thanks for watching. This is the first video and impressions on the new 2023 Canyon. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video of driving impressions and some of the new interior and technology upgrades.